Good morning and welcome to MSOE Raiders Stadium here in Glendale, Wisconsin, as we get set for day 2 of the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference Baseball Tournament, as we are set for the 6 versus 3 matchup here. Number 6 Edgewood Eagles taking on the number 3 seeded Cougars of Concordia University, Chicago. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, joined by Ethan Birch. And Ethan, like I said, this is day 2 of the tournament here in the NACC, and for this Edgewood team, the number 6 seeded team coming into the tournament, we actually got to see them in action yesterday. Single elimination game, defeated number 7 Rockford to move on to face Concordia today.
Absolutely, and when you look at this tournament, you look right here at day 2, and Edgewood is a team that's now walking in today with momentum.
Mm-hmm.
They had a walk-off win yesterday, a 12-inning battle against Rockford. You talk about postseason baseball. That's what it's all about, fighting for your season. Edgewood earns the right to play in this double elimination format. They're rolling in with momentum. Now, on the other hand, CUC, Concordia, Chicago, the 3 seed, they get to throw their ace here in this game. So, you want rest or you want momentum? That's the question we'll kind of dive into here today.
That's right. And as Ethan touched upon, while yesterday was single elimination, number 6 Edgewood taking down number 7 Rockford in 12 innings. Number 5 Marion defeated number 8 Concordia, Wisconsin 2-0. We'll see number 5 Marion in the next game of today's slate when they take on the number 4 Benedictine Eagles, roughly at 1 p.m. or 30 minutes after this game wraps up. But let's talk about that ace you mentioned, Ethan. The Cougars, they are throwing out a freshman on the mound, Ryan Ranella, 6-foot freshman out of Bartlett, Illinois, went to Bartlett High School, and, you know, his stats back up, you know, just earning this moment for Ranella, but you still got to wonder, first game of the NACC tournament, you do have 2 games to play with in the double elimination format, but this is a lot of pressure on a young pitcher like Ranella to come out here and his first postseason start as a freshman.
Yeah, he's pitched to a great earn run average, 3.44. It's all in the freshman's hands here for CUC. So here we go.
Well, we are about to get underway here as Ranella stares down the leadoff batter for Edgewood as he's going to hop that one to the second baseman, and that'll be the first out. That was Terry Tolliver Jr., the center fielder for Edgewood, a one-hopper to CUC second baseman Yashawn Boswell. And, well, we were talking about all the pressure on a freshman pitcher. That's about the best start you could ask for right there.
Absolutely. 1 pitch, 1 out. And when you get your defense playing like that, that's a heck of a play on the glove side there by Tolliver Jr. Nice start. Get some confidence into the freshman here in a big game.
Well, Ranella will now take on the third baseman for Edgewood. That is Halen Hellenbrand, who looks at the first pitch for a ball. Hellenbrand coming into today's game for the Eagles. Second on the team in batting average, a .359 Marquez. Here's a grounder again to Boswell. A bit of a longer throw, but he gets it there in time. Another 4-3 put out for the Cougars. And just like that, 3 pitches for Ranella. He's already got 2 outs as he's ready to face the 3-hole hitter, Jacob Carney. And this is going to be a good test for Ranella. Jacob Carney, arguably the best hitter on this Edgewood team.
Yeah, so far, obviously, is pitch to contact. That's kind of what we're going to see out of Ranella. He's not going to strike out the world, just 38 through little under 50 innings. So he's got to pitch to contact. He's got to miss the barrel this weekend.
As there's going to be a foul ball by Jacob Carney. So an 0-1 start for the Edgewood first baseman, who I mentioned, very good hitter for this Eagles squad. 8th in batting average in the conference, a .373 mark, and he's also 8th in runs driven in with 44 coming into today's game, as he's going to foul off the second pitch as well. Quickly falls in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, a little late to start here for Carney. He's fouled them both off to the left side of home plate and clearly late on that 0-1 fastball. He's got to make an adjustment here.
Kyle Prindle stands in on deck for Edgewood. If they get there, Carney's got to reach safely as this ball high and away. Ranella seeing if he can get a chase there. It'll be a now 1-2 count. Big at-bat here for Ranella, trying to get a clean inning in his first inning of postseason work. That one inside, almost clipped Carney. He got out of the way. 2-2 now. CUC's defense left to right in the outfield. Buckley, Hickman, and Dorsch. In the infield, it's Crater, Zagerman, Boswell, and Kasich. Brandon Mahler behind the plate. Ranella on the mound, and Jacob Mahler will be handling designated hitter duties, as here's another foul ball by Carney. Stays alive.
It's a good battle here. You know, you go down 0-2. You continue to foul off some pitches you don't like. close call there on 1-2, but now you're in a 2-2 count. You're just looking to extend this inning here because Rinella is in the driver's seat nearing a really quick inning.
And no matter the outcome of this at bat, as it's going to continue a high ball for 3-2 count now, at least you're now seeing pitches. Again, those first 2 batters for Rinella, he got out in just 3 pitches. So at least Carney showing a little more fight, let his team see some more pitches from Rinella. Here's the 3-2. Again, another grounder to Boswell as 4-3 putouts for the Cougars. Get them out of the first inning cleanly. 1-2-3. We are going to get set now for the bottom of the first. The Cougars, they'll throw out Tyler Dorsch, Michael Kasich, and Jake Mahler. We'll have that for you in just a second here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, we get set for the bottom of the first inning. CUC, 3 outs and 3 batters in the top of the first. They'll now get a crack at the Edgewood starter. That is number 6, Aiden Shoemaker. He is making his 12th appearance on the year, his 9th start. That ties him for the most on the squad, along with Ryan Mixie. 5.04 ERA to boot for Shoemaker. So Tyler Dorsch will lead things off for the Cougars. Dorsch playing in his senior season, a very experienced hitter. Spent a couple summers in the Prospect League with the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. Top 10 in a couple statistics this year in the NACC, including slugging, hits, and RBIs. As he's going to take that first pitch for a ball. And swings through his shoes on that one. A little laugh from Dorsch, as I think we know where he was trying to put that ball. 1-1 now, the count. Shoemaker deals, and that one finds its way home. 1-2 now.
It's a great breaking ball there from Shoemaker.
Shoemaker, a junior out of Chandler, Arizona, as his next pitch is way high, makes it 2-2. And speaking of Arizona, CUC, a lot of Arizona flavor on their roster, including Tyler Dorsch, who just gets a piece of that one to stay alive. Dorsch is from Phoenix. A couple other Arizona products include Xavier Zagerman from Chandler, Arizona, and Michael Kasich, also from Chandler, Arizona.
Oh, just missed on a nasty breaking ball. He's mixing it up, and he's throwing a high fastball there too, elevating the heater. It's a real solid mix here from the righty.
The 3-2 is going to be popped up by Dorsch. Center fielder has to come in. Hat flies off, a little windy, but he's able to make the grab. That was Tolliver for the first out. So Tyler Dorsch not able to reach base, but as we kind of talked about with Carney, able to get a lot of pitches out of that at-bat. Let the number 2, the number 3 hitter kind of see what they're working with along with Shoemaker.
Absolutely. And Shoemaker, I described Rinella as more of a finesse-style pitcher, just going to miss the barrel. Shoemaker's going to strike you out. His walk-to-strikeout ratio is incredible.
As here's a pop fly foul. We'll see if it stays in play. And it barely does. Not able to make the grab, but was Carney. Ran into, I believe, the conjunction between the foul fence as well as the Edgewood dugout.
Yeah, that's something to note for this weekend. Hey, we're going to be playing all of our games here. The foul territories are deep. This is a big backstop, huge backstop. And also along the side fences near the dugout, it's a lot of room. Ball gets away, a foul ball.
As CUC one hopper to the shortstop Prindle, a slow throw, but it gets there in time to Carney for the second out, 6-3 putout. As through 5 batters this game, no one able to get much on the ball. It'll be up to Jake Mahler now to try to extend the inning. Mahler, the designated hitter for CUC. He's top 10 in a variety of stats in the conference, including on-base plus slugging, average on-base percentage, as he gets a piece of this one, dribbles foul. Also top 10 in total hits and second in the conference, tied for second, I should say, in doubles with 13, as he finds himself in an 0-1 hole right here.
Shoemaker, 59 strikeouts in 57 1/3. Compared to just 17 walks. I mean, he has struck out 8 or more 4 different times this year. He's got a good fastball right over the top and meshing it together with a good breaking ball. That's what I've seen so far out of him.
A 1-1. It's in there. That'll be 1-2 now. And something else we should note about this Edgewood team is yesterday, just because of the 12-inning game, they had to throw a number of arms. Is this one blocked by the catcher Richter, 2-2 now. But yesterday, Edgewood throwing a total of 5 pitchers, including Aiden Shoemaker. He threw the second and third inning for the Eagles. 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. As that one clips Jake Mahler, so he's going to get a free walk to the first base. And that is our first base runner of the day as well.
So you mentioned Shoemaker went yesterday. Here's what I'm curious about. How coaches are going to use arms this weekend. You know, season's on the line, double elimination. Hey, does Shoemaker go maybe another 2 innings today, and then he's available either later on today or in the elimination game the loser will go to tomorrow morning?
Right.
Because, hey, season's on the line. This is it for these guys.
Right, it's the go time.
Especially for your seniors. Especially for your seniors.
Got all summer to rest up, as that'll be a first pitch strike to Tyler Crater, third baseman for CUC, another formidable hitter in the CUC lineup. 5th in slugging in the conference, tied for 5th in RBIs. As he's working with a man at first, 2 outs, and this ball is going to hop past Prindle at short, a 1-hopper. Prindle not getting in front of it, as that'll allow Mahler to move to second. Crater reaches first, and now it's time for another Mahler, Brandon Mahler, CUC's catcher, twin brother of Jake. And CUC trying to put together a little 2-out rally here.
Yeah, Prindle, it's a tough play. That's a short hop. He's trusting his leather there. At the end of the day, as you said, you just got to get in front of it. Eat that ball up. You got to short out at second there.
Right.
Tough play, though. Tough play on a hard hit ball.
First pitch to Mahler. Takes a hack at it, and that's going to go way foul. Long strike there for Brandon Mahler. 0-1 the count to start. Oh, we talked about how good a hitter Jake Mahler is. Brandon Mahler, no slouch either, as 290 hitter and 29 games played. Takes strike 2 there. Brandon Mahler has driven in 19 runs so far this season. He's got a chance with his twin brother Jake in scoring position here. Is it an 0-2 hole, though? Here's the pitch. Another foul ball.
That's competitive in the zone there from Shoemaker. Tip the cap to Brandon Mahler, just battling, fighting it off, saying, I don't want that thing in the zone. Feed me something else. This is big. CUC, chance to strike first after that quick top of the first inning. Set the tone. You're the 3 seed.
That ball not able to break in enough. It'll miss high, 1-2. Yeah, CC could get a lot of momentum here. You get 3 quick outs in the top of the inning, and now you're working on a 2-out rally here. Dorsch and CUC, they were out to start this inning. Since then, a hit by pitch and a single puts runners at first and second. At pitch flowing away. It'll be 2-2 now.
Yeah, it's a nice opportunity here for the Cougars, a team that missed the tournament last year. Heck of a season this year, the 3 seed. And now your opportunity. Draw first blood in the first inning. Set the tone for your freshman on the mound.
The 2-2. It'll be a Couple of hops to the shortstop. Prindle throws it to second for the force, and that'll do it. So CUC, they leave a pair on the base paths, and we're going to head to the second inning now. No score here at the MSOE Raiders Stadium. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second.
Nation, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jake. Thank you so much for tuning into today's broadcast. If you want to learn more about CUC baseball, head to cucougars.com.
We hope to see you at our next game.
Go Cougars. Go.
Back here in Glendale, Wisconsin, top of the second inning between the Cougars and the Eagles. As the Eagles, they'll throw out Kyle Prindle, Brevin Brezak, and Daniel Bentavegna. Those are the three guaranteed batters for Edgewood going up against Ryan Ranella. Very clean first inning from the freshman as he throws a first pitch strike there to Prindle.
Yeah, 10 pitches across that first inning. 3 for 3 putouts, so missed the barrel 3 times. Hey, Edgewood, you got to settle in here. Obviously, a little jumpy out of the get-go. Lock in, put together some good ABs here. Make this freshman work. Way too comfortable in that first inning. And, hey, I don't blame him. I don't blame you. Had the big win yesterday. Game 1 of the tournament. You want to come out swinging. They did just that. But, hey, long game. Let's start to settle in and make this righty work a little bit.
The 1-1 in their first strike. Yeah, of those 3 batters, Terry Tolliver led off, 1 pitch, 1 out. Hayden Hellenbrand, 2 pitches and an out. And then Jacob Carney able to get a 7-pitch at bat, make Ranella work a little bit. But like you said, Edgewood working with a little momentum after yesterday's big walk-off win. Ryan Ranella, though, a lot of momentum in his own game. His last 2 outings came the 2nd of this month against Concordia, Wisconsin, as well as the 23rd of last month. 2 7-inning starts for Ryan Ranella. Allowed just 3 earned run across his last 2 starts. So the freshman feeling pretty good as here's a very hard hit ball. First one of the day we've seen. That's going to go all the way to the right field fence. Dorsch has to play it off the bounce, and sliding safely into second is Kyle Prindle. A leadoff double for the Eagles, and their bats coming alive here after a very quiet first inning.
Yeah, turn and burn. Fastball got too much plate there. Prindle just roped that ball down the line. Couple hops and off the wall. Hey, you get a pitch like that, you want to set the tone for your squad, that's a really good start to this second inning here for Edgewood. Now you got a runner in scoring position. How do you play it? Do you want to push him over? Let's see how Edgewood approaches that leadoff double.
Well, they'll turn to the bat of Brevin Brezak as he tries to lay down a bunt. It's off the top of the bat and foul. For strike 1, Brezak coming into today, 39 games played, 3rd best average on the team, a .336 mark. And he has the 2nd most runs driven in with 35, working with Prindle in scoring position, no outs, 0-1 count. As he'll foul this one out of play. It'll be an 0-2 count now, deciding not to go with the bunt after the first pitch attempt. Brevin Breezak, also the son of Edgewood's head coach Al Breezak, who's in his 25th season with the squad. So some family connections here on this Eagles team. As the 0-2 just high, it'll be 1-2 now. Good eye there by Breezak.
Need a productive out here. You got to find a way to get Prindle over to third. Can't strike out. Put the ball on the ground the other way. I mean, the infield in a little bit of a shift here with the first and second baseman playing so far to the pull side of the righty.
Yeah, Michael Kasich well off the first base as that ball upstairs as well. 2-2 now. So see what Breezak can do here. 2-2 count. Runner on second, no one out. Breezak, 6'5" senior out of Verona, Wisconsin. And he'll take that one in the attic as well. 3-2 now. As Daniel Bentavegna waits on deck. Starting second baseman for the Eagles. See if he's going to work with one or two runners on the base passes. This one away. That'll be ball 3. So a walk drawn by Brevin Breezak. We'll put runners at first and second now for Bentavegna.
Well, just a completely different inning here. Ranella has already thrown 11 pitches this inning. Took him 10 to get through that first inning, as we mentioned. He's in some trouble here, and they're expecting bunt.
Kasich way in, that pitch away. 1-0 will be the start.
You think Kasich's scared? I mean, he is stepping right up if Bentavegna were to swing here. Man, I mean, you got the whole right side wide open, but in a pretty clearly obvious bunt situation. Kasich's ready for it. Maybe want to pick it off out of midair.
Pulls back the bat in time for ball 2. Yeah, Kasich is just about even.
I mean, he's dangerously close.
Even with the front of the mound. Boswell, though, in his normal second base position, he's going to have a long distance to go if he's going to cover first. Again, another bunt attempt is pulled back for ball 3 as Ranella starting to lose it a bit in this inning. A walk to Breezak and now a 3-0 count to Daniel Bentavegna.
Yeah, it's not going to matter where Kasich's stationed if Ranella can't get in the zone.
If you don't put the ball in play. Bentavegna, 5'9" senior out of Peoria, Arizona. As he's going to take a strike there. Here, a couple calls from the Edgewood crowd to the right of the broadcast booth. CUC set up to the left. Each fan section by their respective dugouts says this bunt to the third baseman, Crater. The throw is in time. Nice play there by Tyler Crater. Had a long way to throw, had to come in to make the play as well. They get the out, but the sac bunt by Bentavegna will now push both runners into scoring position. 1 out for Dominic Lee, the left fielder.
Hey, that's a heck of a bunt. Not an easy one to get down, too, for the righty. I mean, it's coming at him inside. He's got to angle his body more to the left, and then he just perfectly placed it down the line. You talk about a sacrifice situation with the first baseman playing like that. Perfect.
As nice save there by Brandon Mahler. Really had to reach over to keep that one. And now he'll have a go. The junior Mahler will go have a chat with the freshman Ranella. But like you said earlier, Ethan, you know, the backstop is a very far distance from the catcher. If that one gets by Mahler, that's easily going to score a run for Edgewood. There's not going to be any lucky bounce back to the catcher.
No. This backstop is an absolute killer, a nightmare for any catcher. You miss anything, runners are going to take at least a base. Mm-hmm. And I say at least because, you know, a good enough hop and a good enough ricochet, I'm talking first to third.
Or even if the ball just dies at the fence, at the backstop, pardon me, as this one makes contact to Zagerman. He's going to go for the safe out at first, but it will push a run across home. Coming in to score is Prindle, so that'll be an RBI ground out for Dominic Lee. Also pushes Breezak over to third, and Edgewood, they'll strike first here in the first of our double elimination games, take a 1-0 lead in the top of the second.
Yeah, again, got to do what you got to do here with 1 out and 2 in scoring position. That's put the ball in play, put it on the ground, get a run in, and now Edgewood with the early and narrow advantage.
First pitch to Carson Richter, the catcher, misses for a ball. Richter working with a man 90 feet from home plate, 2 outs, so he has to reach safely as the 1-0 gets in there. Nice frame job from Brandon Mahler.
Now, we've given Edgewood a ton of credit. Let's kind of give the flowers to Ranella here. He's done a nice job limiting the damage here after a rough start to this inning. And now he's just a few pitches away from allowing just 1 run. Hey, you like how your freshman handled his first adversity in postseason play. If he's able to get out of this inning surrendering just 1 run, given the circumstances.
Yeah, 2 runners were in scoring position for Edgewood with 1 out. And now Ranella, who falls in a 3-1 hole to Richter. It's 1 good pitch away from keeping that deficit at 1 for CUC. Still got some work to do. Brezak standing on third. Fires a strike there. Full count now to Richter.
Yeah, 3-1 breaking ball.
Richter, 320 hitter in 29 games played. Doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify for the leaderboard, but he will draw a walk here. That'll put runners in the corners now. And something you don't see often, the 9-hole hitter, the designated hitter as well, Colby Davis, stepping to the plate as head coach of CUC, Colin Connor, going to come out now to have a chat with this freshman hurler. Maybe try to settle him down a little bit as Ranella has issued 2 walks so far this inning. Brezak and just now Richter also had a 3-ball count to Bentavegna.
This is now a 24-pitch second inning. So 2 completely different tales here for the freshman. But hey, welcome to the postseason. This is going to happen. And again, got to do what you got to do to get you out here. You're able to do it, giving up just 1 run. Because the situation that I'm looking at was first and second, nobody out, a 3-0 count to a hitter trying to bunt. He's able to find the zone and survive, keep his head above water. That could have been bad. And who knows where we would have been if he walks the bases loaded.
First pitch to Davis finds its way home for a strike. And Davis, the designated hitter, hitting in the 9-hole for Coach Brezak and his Eagles. 229 hitter across 48 at-bats this season as this ball is going to just drift foul. Looked good off the bat, but carries foul as 0-2 count now to Davis. Senior catcher out of Verona, Wisconsin. As it's going to be a high chopper, and it's off the top of Crater's glove. That'll score another run for Edgewood. So Colby Davis, the 9-hole hitter, gets the job done, pushes another run across as Edgewood takes a 2-0 lead here in Glendale.
I mean, that's a bounce right there. Keep in mind, playing on this field all weekend, turf's going to take hops like that. I mean, that is a near impossible play to make for Crater. Friendly bounce.
Gets the job done as here's a grounder to Boswell. Double clutches before throwing to first for the 3rd out, but Edgewood able to strike first here in game 1 of today's 4-game slate. They're going to take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the second. CUC got some work to do. They'll lead it off with Yashawn Boswell, followed by Cam Buckley and Xavier Zagerman. We'll see if CUC can respond when we're back here in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Bottom of the second inning here in Glendale, Wisconsin. Pete Borkowski joined by Ethan Birch as we get set for Yashawn Boswell, Cam Buckley, and Xavier Zagerman from CUC in a 2-0 hole now on the scoreboard. As time for these bats to start doing some damage. They had something going at the end of the first inning, left a pair of runners on the base paths. Not able to get anything out of it, and then Edgewood putting 2 up in the top half of this inning to take that 2-run lead.
It's a long game here for CUC. Can't let it affect you too much. 2 runs is not a lot of runs especially in college baseball. It's a long game. You put the pressure on Shoemaker early. He's got that in the back of his mind still. Got to spark something here, and in all honesty, just chip away.
As the 1-2 is in there for strike 3, first K of the day from either squad. As Boswell will head to the dugout, striking out, looking.
Ooh, that is a hammer. I mean, he flashed that breaking ball in the first inning. But to punch a hitter out like that looking, that's some nasty, nasty work.
And so that'll bring up the sophomore for CUC, Cam Buckley. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it off. Buckley starting out in left this morning. And coming into today's game, 26 appearances, a .321 hitter across 81 at-bats as he swings again, and that's going to take a bounce off the first baseman's glove, but Carney gets it to Shoemaker in time for the putout, and a quick 2 outs here for Aiden Shoemaker.
Your offense just had an inning like that. What's your goal? What's your job as a pitcher? It's to have an uber-efficient inning on the mound. Get those guys swinging. They're hot right now. They put up good at-bats, and they want to keep swinging.
So it'll be up to Xavier Zagerman now to extend CUC's half of the inning. Takes strike 1 on the first pitch. Zagerman, a sophomore shortstop, one of those Chandler, Arizona products I mentioned earlier. Went to Arizona College Prep. As he takes a swing at the 1-1, stumbles out of the box. Long throw is well in time. Nice throw there by Hellenbrand, and a 1-2-3 inning for Shoemaker and the Eagles. So we're going to head to the third now. CUC still in a 2-0 hole as the Eagles look to add on when we're back here in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network.
Cougar Nation, want to catch up on all the CUC baseball action you missed this year?
Stick around on our YouTube channel and click the baseball playlist to see all of our highlights, interviews, and previous games.
Thank you all for the support. Love you, Mom.
Top of the third inning here in Glendale as the Edgewood College Eagles, a 2-0 lead over the CUC Cougars. They'll start this inning with Hayden Hellenbrand, Jacob Carney, and Kyle Prindle. Hellenbrand starting third baseman, already a second at-bat of the day as he's going to look at ball 1 from Ranella. Hellenbrand grounded out to Yashawn Boswell at second in his first at-bat back in the first. The 1-0 misses again, 2-0. As kind of been a tale of two Ryan Ranellas here, Ethan. First inning, very clean, very effective. Ever since then, kind of struggled to find the zone as he just pokes that one in for 2-1 count.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like this inning is going to tell us a lot. He's got to find that middle ground right now and lean towards what he did in that first inning. Hey, it's postseason baseball. If he doesn't have it, you got to move on.
As here's a pop-up. Hellenbrand slams the bat down, not happy with it, and Eli Hickman will reel in the ball for the out. So fly out to center for Hellenbrand, now 0-2 on the day.
Yeah, Hellenbrand slammed that bat. He just missed that, and he knows it right away. That pitch caught, again, a lot of plate, and he just popped that up. That hit up. That was scraping the clouds up there in the sky. Game of inches, that's an inch away from being a ball that's extra bases at the absolute least.
Jacob Carney, he'll pop one up. It's in foul territory and goes out of play. A couple of Cougars in pursuit of that one. No one able to make the grab because of the fence, obviously. But, you know, you brought up an interesting point, Ethan, about, you know, knowing when to move on if you're CUC's coaching staff. Ryan Ranella, again, two very different innings so far. And here's another pop fly. This one into left field. Buckley gets under it for out number 2. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, though, how much leash CUC's coaching staff gives their freshmen on the mound between head coach Colin Connor, pitching coach Matt Smith. You know he's got the stuff. He's coming off 2 7-inning starts where he only allowed 3 runs, across those 2 games.
And CUC's got the leverage here. They didn't have to play yesterday. Meanwhile, Edgewood threw, 5 arms yesterday?
As here's a nice stop by Michael Kasich. He's going to take it himself for the unassisted out. And so Ryan Ranella, really nice rebound inning there. Gets the Eagles out 1-2-3. As we head now to the bottom of the 3rd inning. CUC looking to strike here. They're down to Edgewood 2-0. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Nine-hole hitter Eli Hickman will lead things off here for CUC. Hickman, one of the senior leaders of this CUC squad, a graduate student. He's been doing this for a while in the maroon and gold. As he's going to take the first pitch away, but just clips the zone for a strike. Nice pitch there from Shoemaker. As the 0-1 is fouled off, a quick 0-2 hole now for CUC's starting center fielder. 209 hitter so far this year and 39 games played, but where Hickman really earns his money is his defense as well as his base running. 27 for 29 in the stolen base department this year for Hickman. Hickman, one of those players, it's all about getting him on base and just letting him do his thing, cause some chaos.
That was a good 0-2 pitch there. Just missed off the edge of the plate. Shoemaker's going to go to that hammer whenever he's ahead.
That one way outside, 2-2. See if you can get a chase there. Hickman able to lay off of it.
It's a good miss. It's a good miss on 2-2. You're still far ahead. You got room to waste one.
Here is the 2-2. Drops in there, but Hickman makes contact. Pop flying to left field and struggling for a bit, but able to get under it is Dominic Lee for out number 1. And that'll be another storyline to follow all weekend is just the wind here. Very little protection from the wind. You can kind of see on the camera there is, a mound. I believe that's a train track on top of the hill past the outfield wall. But in terms of looking left to right, there's really no kind of windscreen. So we'll just have to see what exactly the wind has in store for us this weekend.
Yeah, I was about to say that is one thing we haven't touched on. We haven't touched on the wind here today, with the wind gust blowing up to 20 miles an hour right now. And I believe it's going really from the right field pole to the left field pole. So it's not really going to help out any hitters. If anything, it's just going to cause a lot of chaos for anything up in the air. Might not see a lot of home runs today. I don't know if anyone's going to run into one. You're going to have to really crush it to rip one over the wall. But keep an eye on your outfielders. Keep an eye on those pop flies on the infield. What in the world is that ball going to do when it goes up into the sky?
Yeah, we weren't on the call yesterday, but from the stories I've heard from those who were here, it was an absolute wind tunnel here at MSOE Stadium yesterday.
I can see it getting worse as the day goes on, too.
Yeah, no cloud coverage either. It is perfect blue skies as Dorsch will draw a walk here.
That's the first not great breaking ball that Shoemaker has thrown. He went to it on 3-1. He went right back to it. And I was about to say that I think he should go back to it. He went back to it. He just didn't have much feel of it. And again, that's the first not great, because I don't want to say bad because it's a competitive pitch at the end of the day, but that was the first not great curveball he's thrown.
Yeah, maybe not the pitch you throw on a 3-1 count to a very experienced batter in Tyler Dorsch, who, if there's one thing Dorsch does know, it is the strike zone. And he's a senior, he's played a lot of baseball between here at CUC and, again, as I mentioned earlier, in the Prospect League as they try to pick him off. But Carney not even standing on the bag, more of just a check. Make sure Dorsch doesn't go anywhere. Dorsch is second on this team in stolen bases with 15. He's done that on 22 attempts so far this year. As the 0-1, Kasich fouls it straight back into the screen. Kasich grinding out to short in his first at-bat, back in the bottom of the first. So 0-2 count now. Shoemaker. A lot of room to work with. Here's the 0-2. Drops in there. Kasich gets a piece of it. Third baseman goes all the way over. The throw to first not in time is Kasich. But a productive out at that does move Dorsch into scoring position. As now it'll bring up Jake Mahler.
Kasich just fighting there. It's 2 strikes. He goes to that curveball that your team's seen now probably 50% of the time. He does all he can to put it in play. It's a nice play over at third by Hellenbrand. He gloves it, able to set his feet. He knows he has time with Kasich, the first baseman, running down the first baseline. Overall, nice defensive play. And now you got 2 outs, and you're an out away from stranding a runner here in scoring position.
It'll be Jake Mahler to try and extend the inning. 0-1 count. After the first pitch landed in the zone, the 0-1, low and away. Nice block there by Richter, the backstop. Mahler hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. He's got to do something to reach safely here, keep the inning alive for CUC as Tyler Crater stands on deck. Here's the 1-1. High and away, 2-1 now. And not something we've seen a lot from Shoemaker so far today is falling behind in the count. He's done a great job of staying ahead or at least staying even.
Absolutely. Working ahead and then setting up the good number 2 and 3 pitches he's got working.
See what he does here on 2-1. The pitch gets away from Richter all the way back. Dorsch rounding third with some speed. He'll put on the brakes, though.
Well, there it is. There's our first wild pitch, and might see more than a few of them with that deep backstop. It's on the catchers. A lot of pressure on the guys behind the plate to keep the ball in front of them. hard to blame Ricker there. I mean, that's a tough ball to get in front of.
They do rule it a passed ball as it hit him in the chest as this one fouled back. Richter looking for it, but it's going to be out of play. Hits on top of the booth here. Solid thud above our heads.
That is jumping a little in here.
Say Richter made it look like he had a play on it, but that ball was very much out of play. 3-2 count now on Jake Mahler. Big battle here between Shoemaker and CUC's best hitter, and he's going to strike out looking. Great pitch there from Shoemaker. Drops in for strike 3. As Ethan, I could see your face. That was just an absolutely nasty pitch from Shoemaker.
Filthy.
So 3-2 is a strikeout looking to Jake Mahler, and we are 1/3 of the way through this first game of today's 4-game slate. Edgewood takes a 2-0 lead into the top of the 4th. We'll have more for you here in just a second. Top of the 3rd here in Glendale, Wisconsin. Peter Borkowski joined by Ethan Birch as we'll get ready for Brevin Brezak, Daniel Bentavegna, and Dominic Lee to take on Ryan Ranella. Still out there throwing for CUC as that one inside for ball 1 to Brezak, who walked in his first at-bat back in the 2nd. Eventually came around to score a run. 2nd run of the day for Edgewood as this ball hard hit to center, and Eli Hickman diving grab. I said it earlier, and we see why Eli Hickman makes his money with his defense and his speed. As that was a tricky ball to track down. Hickman made it look easy out there.
That's a heck of a catch. Oh, my. I mean, you look at one thing when a outfielder has to charge a ball like that. It's their first step. And right off the bat, Hickman takes his first step hard and in, giving himself, one, the chance to make a play on that ball. And then you get to the spot, you lay your body out on the line, dive in. That's a tough play and a really good one.
Yeah, looked like it was going to drop down, but Hickman had other plans for it. As that's what you can expect with Eli Hickman. Whatever he's doing at the plate, he's always going to bring his glove in center field. As it's now a 2-0 count to Daniel Bentavegna. Laying down a sac bunt and is only at bat today in the 2nd inning. Push 2 runners into scoring position, both of whom eventually came home to score. So kudos to Bentavegna for doing his job in that at bat. As evening up the count now is Ranella.
I will say Ranella's done a fine job since that very chaotic 2nd inning where he surrendered the 2 earned runs. He's been good since, hoping to keep that up right now.
As here's a hard grounder to Crater at 3rd. Gloves that throw across the diamond in time. Plenty of time as well. As they get out Bentavegna, and 2 quick outs here. 6 straight batters retired for Ryan Ranella and this Cougars defense. And now it'll be Dominic Lee to try and break up that streak. The left fielder grounded out to short in his first at-bat, but it did drive in a run. So again, another productive out for this Edgewood squad as Lee swings at the first pitch. He's going to get a hit into left center. That ball is going to keep on rolling back. Sliding to cut it off is Buckley. To no avail, however, as Lee, a 2-out double, keeps the inning alive for the Eagles.
Yeah, right when you thought your inning was coming to an end, you thought you might have had a leadoff base runner. The defense makes a great play, then makes a good play over at third. Dominic Lee says, hang on a minute. Just a great piece of hitting. The lefty goes with it on the outside portion of the zone. Beautiful piece into that left center gap. That's extra bases all day with these deep gaps here at Raider Stadium. And, hey, you're back in business here with 2 outs.
So runner in scoring position now for Carson Richter. Drew a walk in his first at-bat as Ranella, I think, trying to avoid the balk, throws over to first. Obviously, no one standing at first other than the first baseman, Michael Kasich, who he himself a ways off the bag as this pitch flown away for ball 1.
I don't know what that was. Maybe they were appealing if Lee missed first. Was there a tag at the bat? I put my head down for a moment.
So I didn't see the initial move, but the umpire at first, Matt Mullick, did signal safe, so you might be onto something there, Ethan.
They probably appealed. Hey, might as well give it a shot. Hey, if you think by any chance that potentially Dominic Lee missed first, go for it. Every out means so much in this postseason. Every pitch means so much. It's the beauty of postseason baseball.
Well, the next pitch from Ranella is fouled back by Richter. So 2-1 count now on the Edgewood backstop. Allowed that pass ball. I say allowed. It was a tough ball to stop. It hit him square in the chest protector. Took a spin. That allowed Tyler Dorsch to reach third in the bottom half of last inning. Cougars not able to bring him home as this pitch high and in makes it 3-1 now. Richter, again, drew a walk on a full count in the second. Now working with a heavy hitters count here. Ranella checks the runner at second before issuing, and that's going to be outside for ball 4. And a walk to Richter, a second straight walk drawn by the Edgewood catcher. And now it'll bring up the DH, Colby Davis, an RBI single. Back in the second inning to drive in Edgewood's second run. That was that high chopper that bounced off the glove of Crater.
Got to limit the walks. Ranella has thrived all year when throwing 2 or less walks. Well, back pick there to first. Not expecting that with a runner ahead of you. Ricker doing a nice job just getting back there. But you got to limit the walks. The free passes are what's going to burn you if you're Ranella. He's been competitive in the zone. He's been good in the zone. He's got to stay that way. And, again, lastly, work ahead. The hitters that he's lost, he's fallen behind.
Yeah, that's what Shoemaker's been doing all morning, as it's only 10:53 here in Glendale. Still plenty of baseball left to go today, as Davis looked like he thought about going. Didn't put too much thought into it. Able to hold off for the ball. 1-0 count now. Ranella working from behind. Second pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 now. Ranella clean first, 3 batters, 3 outs. A clean third, 3 batters, 3 outs. It's that second inning that gave him trouble as they check the runner Lee at second, able to get back in safely. You can see Lee is doing a lot of dancing out there off the bag. Maybe trying to get in the freshman's head a little bit. Ranella gives him a look before throwing and finds the zone. 1-2 now.
Now you hear Concordia Chicago getting up here, getting behind their freshman. Get out of this inning. Jolt a little energy into the squad. Hope the bats get it going in the bottom half.
And it's been a 2-out rally here for Edgewood. First 2 batters were out. That pitch just misses high. Now almost able to break it in. Instead, it's going to even up the count at 2 apiece. And you could see Lee, doing some dancing there as he's going to watch Ranella fire ball 3.
Runners off here, 3-2.
Full count, 2 outs. Edgewood up 2-0 here in the top of the 4th. Ranella trying to get out of a jam. The pitch is going to be fouled down the left field line. Could have spelled disaster if that landed about 7 feet to the right of where it did. Instead, we'll get set for another 3-2. Good fight there from the 9-hole hitter.
Yeah, that had 2 runs written all over it.
Full count. The pitch from Ranella almost clips Davis, and that'll be ball 4. Second straight walk issued by Ranella, and that is walk number 4 on the day that the freshman has issued. As that's going to load the bag, still 2 outs. And this is one of those at-bats you kind of tell your freshman hurdler, hey, just get an out here. I know the bags are loaded, but if you get an out, none of that matters.
Absolutely.
Anything will do here as that pitch misses for ball 1.
It's the 3rd time all year he's walked 4 or more in a game. Again, you limit the damage like you said, you're all right. But 3rd time through beginning now, Tolliver Jr. 0 for 2, couple ground outs for Edgewood, hoping he breaks through.
Swings through that one for strike 1. Yeah, both ground outs to Yashawn Boswell at second. Yeah, despite how bad the situation may look right now for Ranella, he can still get out of this inning unscathed. No runs given up yet. However, Edgewood challenging. The next pitch to Tolliver fouls it off. 1-2 count now. Ranella getting ahead.
Yeah, Tolliver Jr. really looking to settle in here. He doesn't look all that comfortable here against the righty. Rolled over twice. And his only 2 ABs so far. He's going to have to fight here, cut down the swing, put it in play, whole left side of the infield wide open.
The 1-2 hits the zone, strike 3. Ryan Ranella gets out of the bases loaded jam, strikes out Tolliver looking as Terry Tolliver Jr.'s rough day continues. And despite all the pressure in the world, Ryan Ranella and the Cougars get out of the inning, no runs allowed. See if their bats can finally wake up here as we head to the bottom of the 4th here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Up now like 9 times. Terrible.
Back here on the Cougar Sports Network as CUC down by a pair of runs, and I believe I caught the end of it. I didn't see the whole thing. Coach Connor had everyone out of the dugout for CUC. Maybe a little bit of a wake-up call for his team as first pitch is fouled off by Tyler Crater to start this inning, but I gotta imagine that's what it was about. Your freshman Ryan Ranella has dealt through some adversity, a tough second inning, and then bases loaded jam in the top half of this inning, and he's kept the damage at 2 runs, which, like you said, Ethan, that's nothing in the world of college baseball. 2 runs is, almost as good as a 1-run lead, basically.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much baseball left. Yeah, you wanna get the bats going.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it's the first game all weekend. At the end of the day, there's been some traffic, but your starting pitcher is keeping you in the ball game.
As here's a one hopper to the third baseman. Hellenbrand throws across the diamond in time for the out. Yeah, and again, with the format of the double elimination, obviously you don't want to go 0-1 in your first game, but it does take a little bit of the pressure off knowing that, hey, even if we do lose this one, we still have a chance the rest of the weekend. It's not single elimination. Still, you don't want to fall in that 0-1 hole, but the pressure isn't all on top of you this first game.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about losing is that the road just gets so much more
It does,
complicated
right.
back to the championship. I mean, the immediate thought for me is that you lose one game, you're going to have to beat someone twice in the championship
Right.
at the end of the weekend. And that's the real tough ask.
Grounder to Prindle. It's a slow throw, and it bounces away from Carney. So reaching safely will be Mahler. I got to believe they're going to rule that one as an error. It was a tough throw, and they do. It is a error, and they're going to assign it to Carney. That was a tough ball to pick from Carney.
Yeah, I mean, that's a real tough play for Carney. Prindle over at short, charging, having to throw across his body.
Running the other way.
That's a really tough play all around. Probably should have went down as a throw-in error.
Well, either way, it means that Brandon Mahler is on first safely, as it will now be Boswell. He struck out looking to start us off in the bottom of the second. Looking for a little redemption here. CUC gifted a base runner on the error, as there is a change. It will be ruled an error on Prindle. So 1-0 count. They're going to check Mahler at first. He steps back on the bag safely.
Well, here's your chance for CUC. You have just one hit in the ball game. You gifted a base runner here with one out. What do you got?
1-0, as I believe Boswell got a piece of it. Also went off the glove of Richter. So we'll even things up at 1-1. Either Boswell got a piece of it or he swung through it. Either way, it'll go down as a strike. 1-1 count here. Shoemaker's been dealing all afternoon as this one over the head of Boswell ducks underneath it. Always kind of fun to see a pitch like that. You know it's going to hit you. Do you duck out of the way, or
Yeah.
maybe you take one for the team?
It was spinning, too.
I know
It wasn't
easier,
a fastball.
easier said than done, as we're sitting up here in the press box. We don't have a baseball flying at our head.
Also, it's nice and warm in here. I get it's 50 here in Glendale, but we mentioned that wind. It's chilly out there.
Yeah, the wind is
I wouldn't want to
adding.
take one.
No, even with the helmet on, as Boswell will foul this one, a long foul ball. That is a hefty strike. 2-2 count here on Yashawn and Boswell. Actually, I believe it's 3-2. So full count on Boswell. The pitch swung through and missed. Strike three. Doesn't matter how many balls there are. That is for sure strike number 3. That'll be the second out. Second strikeout of the day as well for Yashawn Boswell. And that's going to leave things up to Cam Buckley now. Try and extend the inning. Buckley grounded out to first to pitcher, and the second inning for the second out. See what the sophomore in left field can do here.
Just a great pitch. Elevated heat when he's been getting everybody on that breaking ball.
Yeah, he's done a great job mixing up his selection as he issues a strike here.
And then he goes down with a breaking ball, low portion of the zone there, right at the knees. He has been mixing everything up so well. I'm kind of curious how he does third time through.
Next pitch. That misses 1-1. Yeah, looking through Shoemaker's appearances this year, the longest he has gone is 8 innings. There's a win against Rockford on March 29th. He's gone 7 innings a couple of times, 3 times to be exact. And he's also thrown 6 2/3 in a loss to Concordia Chicago on the 5th of April. Appeared in that doubleheader these two teams played in River Forest. CUC swept Edgewood by a score of 8-7 and then 3-0. But Edgewood, they got the advantage here as a slow roller to Bentavegna, who throws it over to Carney in time for the ground out. So CUC, they strand Brandon Mahler, who reached on an error, as Aiden Shoemaker continues to absolutely deal here in Glendale. We are going to head to the top of the 5th inning now. Edgewood still on top of the Cougars, 2-0. Peter Borkowski back with you here in Glendale, Wisconsin, joined by Ethan Birch. And Ethan, new pitcher on the mound for CUC. Ryan Ranella's day is done. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs allowed, both of which were earned. And now we get a look at one of CUC's favorite bullpen arms and arguably their best bullpen arm in Bryce Jones.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there. He's never pitched more than 2 innings, so it's literally been just a relief role all year for this tall lefty standing at 6'6", an incredible 1.66 earned run average across 21 2/3. Here's the one issue. The walks. He's walked 15 batters in that inning, and that was the problem for Ranella. The reason he only lasted 4 here today. We'll see how competitive Jones can be in the zone as he whips one in there on a breaking ball.
Yeah, 4 walks issued by Ranella through his 4 innings of work. Also struck out 1 batter, 69 total pitches. So the freshman, he is in line for the loss as here's a grounder up the middle. Takes a bounce off the mound, still playable for Zagerman, who throws it to first in time for the putout. But, you know, speaking on Ranella, wasn't the cleanest of starts at times, but you do got to give the freshman a lot of credit. First postseason start in collegiate baseball, and again, in line for the loss, gave up the 2 runs, which is the difference right now. But on the whole, for a 4-inning outing, not the worst thing you could see from the freshman.
Ooh, and that one's gonna hit Carney. Lefty tried to go to the front door there, couldn't find the zone, so there's a free pass. But I want to touch on what you said about Ranella. I actually think he did a good job. I really do. I get the walks were the killer. He walked 4 across 4 innings. That's not gonna cut it. But he worked out of the adversity. He worked through it every single time. And Edgewood stranded 5. Ranella kept CUC in this ballgame despite not having his best stuff. It's impressive stuff.
As here's a chopper. Zagerman comes in, tries to tag the runner. He does not get him, but he does get the out at first. So Zagerman trying a sneaky little double play there. Good base running by Carney to avoid the tag. Little juke move there to get out of the way of Zagerman. But they do get the out at first. Productive out by Kyle Prindle, and does advance the base runner, as it will be up now to Brevin Brezak to try and extend this inning. A walk in the second, came around to score, and then a line out to start the 4th. But that was on that spectacular play by Eli Hickman in center field. Pitch to Brezak is in there for a strike. So second straight inning that Brezak will see a chance at the plate. Different pitcher, however, with Bryce Jones on the mound now.
Yeah, he's a tough pitcher to read. Looks like Andrew Miller.
Yeah,
if you remember.
tall, lengthy lefty. As that one upstairs for a ball.
And Miller was an excellent reliever for, at the time, the Cleveland Indians when they made that incredible run to the World Series, lost to Chicago. But, I mean, he was the difference in that bullpen.
That was him, and I'm forgetting the other bullpen pitcher they had.
It was Cody Allen.
Cody Allen, you're right. I knew it was Allen. So
Yep.
I am a Cubs fan, so I got to see those.
You remember beating up on them late in that series.
I got to see those two a lot, just forgetting Cody Allen's first name.
Yeah, probably a little too much, if you ask me. Cleveland burnt him out by the end of that.
Yeah, it was an exciting 7-game series back in 2016 as we got another Chicago team here hoping for some playoff magic in Concordia, Chicago. Got some work to do, down 2-0, but a 2-2 count on Brevin Breezak now. Things evened up on the tall right fielder, as well as the son of Edgewood's head coach, Al Breezak. Brevin swings through that one, strike 3. Says he got a piece of it, but Brandon Mahler able to make the snag, and that strikeout will end the inning. So, very effective inning from Bryce Jones besides the hit by pitch to Jacob Carney. We head now to the bottom of the 5th. CUC trying to get this offense in motion against Aiden Shoemaker. See what they got here when we're back on the Cougar Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th inning here in Glendale. CUC, Xavier Zagerman, Eli Hickman, and Tyler Dorsch will all get guaranteed at bats as they are looking to get some kind of offense going here. Just one hit against Aiden Shoemaker, who will fire a first pitch that is fouled off by Zagerman. Zagerman grounded out to third, and his only at bat back in the 2nd. It ended that inning for CUC. As the next offering, this one's going to stay in fair territory to the shortstop. Prindle throws in time for the out.
Hey, you want to be aggressive here against Shoemaker? Get a good pitch to hit because he has been so dominant late in counts. He only has picked up 3 strikeouts through now 4 1/3, but his put-away stuff has induced such weak contact. So, hey, let's go early. I get he has, you want to force him out of this game, but you got to swing at the best pitch you're going to get. I mean, that was a good pitch.
And a high chopper. It lands in the glove of Bentavegna, who throws the first in time for the 2nd out. And CUC just not seeing a lot of pitches here. And, another disadvantage CUC's at with Shoemaker's dealing is besides for a select number of batters like Hickman and now like Tyler Dorsch, these batters, they're going 2 innings sometimes in between at-bats against Shoemaker, so it's hard to get in a groove against somebody who, as we've mentioned before, is really keeping batters, off balance with his pitch selection.
And the difference here with Edgewood's attack is they have the lead and they have continued to put pressure on the base path. CUC hasn't done a lot of that at all. They've had just a base runner in each of the last 2 innings, and they haven't had a hit since the 1st inning.
Yep.
So you got to find a way to open the floodgates here. You got to poke one through. It doesn't have to be a laser. Just find a way on.
2-1 falls in there. Evens up the count at 2-2. Yeah, CUC's base runners so far today. Hit by pitch to Jake Mahler in the first, and then a single from Tyler Crater, a walk in the third, and then Brandon Mahler reached on an error last inning as Shoemaker was almost in the dugout after that pitch. He thought he got it. Home plate umpire Patrick Weber says not so fast, pulls him back. Full count now to Tyler Dorsch. 3-2, Dorsch gets a piece of it, gloved by Prindle, throws over to first in time. A 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Shoemaker, who is throwing the game of his life here in Glendale, keeping CUC to just one hit as we now head to the 6th inning. CUC still struggling to put runs up. Edgewood, see if they could add on to their 2-0 lead when we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Time for the top of the 6th here in Glendale, Wisconsin. Peter Borkowski joined by Ethan Birch on the Cougar Sports Network as it'll now be Daniel Bentavegna, the second baseman. A sac bunt in the second and then a ground out to third in the fourth. As this will be his first look at Bryce Jones, who, besides hitting Jacob Carney last inning, a very effective debut inning from Jones this game. 4 batters, 3 outs.
It took him just 10 pitches as well. Reminds you of the start that Ranella had. So, got to keep it up here in the 2nd inning.
As this ball fouled down the right field line. Bit of a golf swing there from Bentavega, working on his stroke here in Glendale. 0-2 count now on the Edgewood second baseman. The 0-2. Misses high and away. Mahler tried to bring it back. Got no love from Patrick Weber behind the plate. Be a 1-2 count now. Dominic Lee and Carson Richter on deck and in the hole, respectively, for Edgewood. The 1-2. And another low swing from Bentavegna. Foul it off. We'll stay at 1-2 now.
Yeah, when I introduced Jones, I mentioned the walks being a problem. So he's got to fill up the zone. Hey, when he's in the zone, he's one of the best. He also strikes out just under a batter an inning. 18 punch outs so far this year. Has already picked up 1 here in the ball game.
The 1-2, excuse me, is looped into left, just out of reach of Zagerman at short. So a leadoff single for Daniel Bentavegna. First leadoff hit for the Eagles since Kyle Prindle led off the second with a double. And again, that 2nd inning is what led to the only 2 runs in today's game so far. Chaotic inning from Ryan Ranella. Had a hard time finding the zone. Bryce Jones hoping to avoid that same fate here. As showing bunt was Lee, pulled back in time to take a ball. Lee grounded out to short in the second, but it drove in a run, and then a double in the fourth with 2 outs. Jones throws over to first. No problem from Bentavegna to get back. Bit of a telegraphed move there from Jones, more so just to keep Bentavega honest. Here's the 1-0. And there's the bunt. Kasich has to come in, and he's going to let that one roll. Smart play there by Kasich. No one was covering.
That had the looks of an excellent bunt.
No one was covering first either. It took Jones a second to get off the mound, as he was kind of watching it too. So good play there by Kasich. Just let it roll. You know he's probably going to be safe if you pick it up, so might as well see if it rolls foul. It does. 1-1 count now. One to Lee. He lays down another bunt. This one's going to stay fair. Jones bare hands it, flips it to first in time for the out, but a sac bunt from Lee pushes the runner over. And with one out, Edgewood now working with someone in scoring position.
In a game that's been this low scoring, in a game that's been this dominated by the pitching, you would love another run to put behind Shoemaker the way he's thrown so far in this game. That's absolutely the right decision by Edgewood and this coaching staff. You got to drop one down after the leadoff knock. Now you need another hit. You got to find a way to bring this guy home, and you all of a sudden have built up a 3-run lead. And again, the way Shoemaker has pitched, you really like your odds the rest of the way home.
Yeah, he's been pitching well, but as we've said before, 2 runs in college baseball, not too much. You get a bad inning like Ranella had, just one bad inning, and that lead could quickly evaporate, especially against this CUC offense, who ranks top 3 in offensive categories in the conference, such as average, runs, hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs, slugging, and on base. They lead the conference in doubles and slugging.
Yeah, CUC is more than capable of coming back in this game. Even if this run it comes home, you're working with still 12 outs at the dish. Of course, you'd love to find a way to get Shoemaker out of that game, but you're right. It's a couple swings, and all of a sudden, you're right back in it.
The 3-0 from Jones. It's the gimme strike. Richter showed no signs of lifting that bat off his shoulder. 2 walks in the game so far for Carson Richter. He's 1 pitch away from drawing his 3rd. As Bryce Jones has to fight here. Runner on second. The pitch is just in there. Able to come back inside. 3-2 now. Colby Davis on deck, a single, RBI single in the second, and a walk. That came in the 4th. As here's the 3-2, and in there for strike 3. Richter walking down the first. Patrick Weber says not so fast. Instead, he'll pick up his bat and head to the dugout. Big strikeout there from Bryce Jones for the second out.
Yeah, inside corner. Looked good from behind the plate here. That's right on the black. Great pitch there from Jones when he needed it desperately, working back from 3-0.
That up in the attic for ball 1. Davis, the designated hitter, hitting in the 9 spot. Trying to get on for the top of Edgewood's order, who really hasn't done much. The top 2 hitters, Tolliver and Hellenbrand, 0 for 6 combined throughout this game. The 1-0 in there for strike 1.
This is most likely going to be all Jones is going to work with just these 2 innings. Saw some action in the CUC bullpen. Hey, do your job. Move on. Be available for potentially a game later on today or tomorrow morning.
Yep, the winner of this game will face number 2 Aurora at roughly 4 p.m. As that misses, 2-1 the count now. We'll have number 5 and number 4 Benedictine either at 1 p.m. or roughly 30 minutes after this game wraps up. Whatever comes sooner, depending on the end of this game. As this ball going down to get it was Davis, and scooping it up is Zagerman. Gets the put out at first. And that is all she wrote for the top of the 6th. The Eagles, they strand a runner in scoring position. We head now to the bottom half of the 6th inning. CUC looking to get something going against Aiden Schumacher. He has been dealing. We'll see what we got when we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Bottom of the 6th, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for CUC. Michael Kasich, Jake Mahler, and Tyler Crater will come to the plate, trying to find some answer to Aiden Shoemaker, who has now retired the last 5 CUC batters as he continues his one-hitter, fouled off by Kasich for strike 1.
So here's your opportunity for CUC. Third time through starting for the 2, 3, and 4 spot. Heart of your order, gotta get something going. Put any sort of pressure like that.
And that ball is going to be snagged by the right fielder, Brezak. And Michael Kasich thought he had something going there, but Brevin Brezak coming all the way over. Not a ton of speed out there, but good positioning. Laid out when he needed to, and he gets a big first out on the leadoff hitter.
That's a heck of a play. That's a heck of a play for a lot of reasons.
And that ball is going to get up the middle. I believe that Shoemaker got a piece of it. Looked like it deflected off his glove. Either way, it's a one-out single for Jake Mahler.
Well, here you go. Here you go. 2 hard liners. You probably would have hoped to have second and third after the Kasich line drive. But, hey, the 3-0 hitter, Mahler, Jake, barrels one up the gut. Again, you're just trying to open those floodgates. What is that, the first hit since the first inning for the Cougars?
Second hit on the day in general for CUC as Tyler Crater watches that one fall in for a strike. Crater 1 for 2. He has the only other hit this game for CUC, a single in the first with 2 outs. And then grounded out to third to lead off the fourth as that ball almost gets away from Richter. Lost it for a second, but it was under him the whole time. 1-1 the count now. Edgewood, based in Madison, Wisconsin, 20-20 coming in today, 13-11 within conference play. Had the big walk-off win in yesterday's single elimination game. As they're in the driver's seat against CUC, more specifically, Shoemaker is in the driver's seat against CUC.
Yeah, he's picked apart this offense, but again, third time through. What do you got when you got to face the same guys for the third time? How do you fool them?
Crater checks his swing for a ball, and that's now 3-1. And
this is what I'm talking about, right here. These at-bats are getting a little bit better. These hitters becoming a little more selective. And you got to credit CUC's pitching staff for keeping them in this game, allowing them the opportunity to have these ABs.
That ball in there for a strike, 3-2 the count now. Shoemaker over 70 pitches, closing in on 80. See how much gas he has left. No one throwing in the Edgewood bullpen as Crater fouls it off to stay alive. You can see the Marion Sabres close to the Edgewood bullpen. They'll be in the next game this afternoon against Benedictine, who's currently inhabiting the batting cage. That ball curves in there for strike 3. Clips the top of the zone. See Tyler Crater talking to himself as he's walking towards the dugout. That's been Shoemaker's bread and butter all day. And now he just needs to get one more out to strand that CUC base runner.
Top of the zone breaking ball. Let me start this thing above your eyes and then drop it right down. He has just continued to have his way with that pitch.
That ball just misses. 1-0. Brandon Mahler at the plate, heading into a fielder's choice in the first that ended the inning, and then reached on an error in the fourth as he's trying to do something with 2 outs and his twin brother Jake on first. Jake wearing number 5, Brandon number 9 in CUC's pinstripe uniforms. As Mahler, that ball off the glove of Shoemaker, has to collect it, throws the first in time for the out. Nice recovery there from Shoemaker, coming off the mound as well. Able to collect it, gets out number 3, and another quick inning from Aiden Shoemaker. So 2/3 of the way through the game now. We still sit at a 2-0 score in favor of Edgewood.
Fans, I'm Connor Manis.
And I'm Connor Jacadis.
Interested in learning more about our beautiful university?
Head over to cuchicago.edu for all the information you need about this lovely school.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's game.
And as always,
Roll
Cougs!
Hi,
Love you, Mom!
Seventh inning time here in Glendale, and another new arm on the mound for CUC. So, as we predicted, Bryce Jones comes in, throws his usual 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a pair of strikeouts. And so now, Ethan, CUC turns to the junior Benjamin Teachin to try and keep this deficit where it is.
Yeah, Teachin, 15 and a third this year, and primarily all out of the bullpen. Very similar story with Jones. Never threw more than 2 innings in a game. 5.87 earned run average, 14 strikeouts compared to just 7 walks. Got to bridge you over to the end of this game and keep Edgewood off the board.
And showing bunt and pulling back in time for the ball is Terry Tolliver. Maybe trying to mix up his approach. Hasn't been working for him so far today. 0 for 3, a pair of groundouts to Yashawn Boswell at second, as well as a strikeout looking in the 4th. As that ball misses low and away. 2-0 now from Teachin.
Tip the cap to Bryce Jones. 2 innings, a hit, no walks, no runs, 2 strikeouts. Did his job. Now it's Teachin's job.
2-0. That's inside. It's going to be 3-0 now, as Tolliver, trying to claim it, hit his foot. And Patrick Weber, the home plate umpire, just continuing to hold up the 3 fingers. Not letting Edgewood center fielder get away with one there. 3-0 count now. Teachin, the junior, delivers outside. That's ball 4. So it just took a pitch longer, but Tolliver reaches first.
It kind of feels like the danger zone right now after CUC. And we're in the 7th inning, the back third of this ball game. Still no runs on the board. 2 runs seems a whole lot different than 3, 4, and anything more than that by the time we get later on in this ball game.
And Teachin delivers a ball to Hellenbrand, as Teachin, the junior from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, playing in his home state, hasn't found the strike zone yet. 5 straight balls to start his outing here. Tries a pickoff move. Tolliver dives in safely.
That's a smart move there. Hey, you've thrown 5 straight balls. You need a second to just regroup. Step off, an uncompetitive pick over to first. Give yourself an extra 15 seconds just to relax, compose. And I'll do it again here. Those are not competitive moves over to first, but that's the whole point of this. Give yourself close to a minute now to regroup, regather, and you got to find the strike zone. You got to keep this game where it's at.
The 1-0 is a bunt down the left field line, and letting it go foul is Crater. Down the third base line, I should say. So 1-1, first strike that Teachin is registered in his outing, and it was on a foul bunt from Hayden Hellenbrand, the third baseman. 0 for 3. Pair of groundouts, as well as a fly out to Eli Hickman on that highlight catch the CUC center fielder made. Hillenbrand seems dead set on laying a bunt down here. Let Tolliver reach second. Tolliver 14 for 16 on stolen bases this year. That's third most swiped bags on this Edgewood squad, so some decent speed from the center fielder. Hillenbrand just unable to lay a bunt down yet. 2-1. There's another attempt, and letting it go foul is Crater. A risky play there.
Smart play.
Smart play, risky play.
Man, that got a lot closer than it looked off the bat. I thought that thing would make a left turn a lot sooner than it did.
I think Crater's plan there had to be that, Hillenbrand had a good jump out of the box. Even if Crater gathered it, it was going to be a tough play at first. So might as well let it roll, see what you get. 2-2 count now. Teachin delivers as Tolliver takes off, swinging strike. The throw to second is in time. Strike him out, throw him out. Brandon Mahler guns down Tolliver, and just like that, with one pitch, CUC has put 2 outs up on the board.
That's the bang-bang play you needed. That's the first ounce of momentum CUC has had in this ballgame. It had to come from the defense when the offense has struggled the way it has. It's a big-time play, big-time pitch, big-time throw. Now get this out and let the offense do its thing with some momentum finally.
Teachin and Mahler, as well as the CUC dugout, getting fired up on that play, as they should. Like you said, Ethan, a big momentum play there from CUC. 2 outs on just one pitch. Hillenbrand trying to swing through, cause some interference with Mahler's throw, but CUC's backstop able to stay on target, get the throw down to second in time. Here's Jacob Carney. Formidable hitter. He's just 0 for 2, however. Ground out, fly out, and he was hit by a pitch. As he's going to take a strike there. That'll even us up at 2 apiece. CUC's coaching staff out of the dugout watching as this ball is going to squibble up the middle. Zagerman diving for it, not able to get there. So 2-out single from Carney will keep the inning alive. But CUC's coaching staff, Colin Connor at the head, his 6th season, just earned his 100th career win on the last game of the regular season back on May 2nd against CU Dub, the second game of that doubleheader. He's joined by Matt Smith, Connor Nelson, Jose Mercado, and Jake Garvey. As they're all intensely watching their junior hurler, trying to get to the bottom of the 7th, still down by just 2. 1-0 count on Prindle. Pitch outside makes it 2-0. Prindle, a double and a run to start the second, and grounded out to Kasich unassisted, and then a 6-3 putout in the 5th. As he pops this one up, Major League pop fly, getting under it is Buckley, makes the two-handed snag for the out. And that'll do it for the top of the 7th. So it's stretch time here in Glendale. CUC still looking for an answer at the plate. We head now to the bottom of the 7th. Edgewood still on top, 2-0. Deshaun Boswell will lead us off here in the bottom of the 7th. CUC desperately looking for answers to Aiden Shoemaker, who Ethan has just absolutely been dealing here as Boswell will foul off the first pitch of the inning. But you're kind of starting to get that impression that CUC's best shot, Shoemaker's at 82 pitches now, it might just be knock him out of the game, see what you can do with the bullpen. But that is a taller task, easier said than done against Aiden Shoemaker.
Yeah, that was pitch number 83. So it's tough because it's hard to see what he's thrown during the regular season. Not every single start has the registered amount of pitches, but he looks comfortable. He can tell he's composed out there on the mound, still chucking as hard as he was in that first inning. That fastball still has that zip to it that it did when he went out there back in inning number 1. And more importantly, he's mixed in that breaking ball so well. He's allowed just 2 hits. If he continues to roll like this, CUC might be in some trouble.
Ball in foul territory, and coming over to make the grab is Carney for the first out. So fly out from Yashawn Boswell. That'll be the first out, and it'll be up to Cam Buckley now to try and reach base. Buckley 0 for 2, as a lot of these CUC batters are. Grounded out to first in the second, and then second in the fourth. As he shows bunt, trying to trick play here. Shoemaker off the mound. Excellent play there. He's fired up about it. Great play from the Edgewood pitcher.
You think he's fired up or what? Forget the fist pump. That was electric in itself. Him going out there and getting that ball himself. Man, he is floating right now in the postseason.
A great jump off the mound from Shoemaker. Read that bunt perfectly as Buckley trying to catch the Edgewood defense off guard. Can't catch Aiden Shoemaker off guard as, like you said, Ethan, he is locked in right now. And swinging through that one is Xavier Zagerman, another 0-2 CUC batter. Pair of groundouts to the third baseman and the shortstop as the 1-1. He's going to take in there. Oh, just misses. Must have been just high.
Shoemaker is on the verge of another quick inning here.
This could be it. Pop fly, Tolliver tracking it down, fighting against the sun. He fights successfully. A 1-2-3 inning from Aiden Shoemaker, aided by his own defense on the Cam Buckley bunt attempt. And because of it, we head to the 8th now. Edgewood trying to add on here. They're up 2-0. And we'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second.
Cougar fans, I'm Jeff.
I'm Ben.
We hope you're enjoying today's CUC baseball broadcast.
If you're interested in donating to our athletic communications department to help improve this live stream, click the thank button below.
We appreciate your support and hope to see you at the field soon.
Hi, Dorsey's mom.
Top of the 8th here at the MSOE Raiders Stadium. CUC turning to another new arm. One and done for Teachin. 1 inning, 1 hit, a walk, and a strikeout as they now hand the ball to number 20, the junior out of North Aurora, Illinois, Jack Carroll.
Yeah, Carroll, you mentioned a junior, another tall lefty, 6'3", Throws from a tough angle, a 4.50 earned run average across 14 innings flat.
As he issues a first pitch strike to Brevin Brezak. A walk, a line out, and a strikeout. Also has a nice defensive play in today's resume, as he's going to put this one into right center. Eli Hickman will let that one drop for a base knock. So leadoff single for Brezak.
What I've been able to tell so far is just the obvious impact Shoemaker has had on this team.
Mm-hmm.
He has put them on his back. He's backpacked this team through this game. He's dealt 7 shutout innings so far, and his energy has been contagious here in this one. And Edgewood is just riding that momentum.
Bunt attempt from Bentavegna goes foul. We've seen a couple bunt attempts from the Edgewood second baseman. Laid down a successful sac bunt in the second. Helped his team put up a pair of runs. That's the difference right now. 2-0 lead for the Eagles. And he'll put down another bunt attempt, and laying it roll foul is Crater. So 0-2. Most likely takes the bunt out of the equation now for Bentavegna. Don't want to risk that third bunt foul being the out.
Yeah, the mindset's clear. Edgewood had the same approach in each of the last 2 innings. Get the leadoff runner aboard and try to bunt them into scoring position. The problem is they haven't, in the 7th inning, didn't come up with a big hit.
As that one is going to be laid down. Crater, tough sidearm throw, and it actually hits Bentavegna. That's going to keep squibbling over, and coming around to score is Brezak. And so an unfortunate throw from Tyler Crater. It puts Bentavegna at second and brings home Brevin Brezak, and it is a 3-run lead now for the Edgewood Eagles.
0-2 bunt, and it's a beauty. Crater probably should have just eaten that one up.
I mean, that might be one you pocket.
The way he picked it up, too, he didn't have a great grip. I could tell he palmed the ball. That's a really tough and ridiculous throw to make against Bentavegna, who's going hard down the line, and it cost him now.
Another Eagle showing bunt. It's Dominic Lee, pulls back in time to take a ball. So Bentavegna reaching first on the throwing error from Crater, then advanced to second. Meanwhile, Brezak coming home to score. It will be an unearned run for Jack Carroll. But in Edgewood's book, a run is a run. That's a 3-run lead now. And you still have a man dealing on the mound in Shoemaker.
And that errant throw goes back to what we spoke about earlier. These deep dimensions on the sidewalls. I mean, that ball just goes into no man's land, and runners can go for days. Turns into a track meet. Watch out.
And they're going to say that clipped Lee, tried to spin move his way out of the path of the pitch. Unable to do so. So a little pain, but a gain there for Dominic Lee. Stands on first now. 2 runners on, no one out, as here comes pitching coach for CUC, Matt Smith. Going to have a chat with his junior thrower on the mound, trying to get him under control a little bit.
Yeah, you got to find a way to compose the pitcher here. This has obviously been now a long inning. There's still nobody out, and you know what we mentioned? They're in that danger zone. They still have yet to catch any sort of momentum offensively. 2 runs and 3 runs feel like a whole lot different, and with potentially 4 and 5 on the base path, you know, you never want to rule anything out in the game of baseball because crazy and weird things happen in this sport. But Edgewood is going to put themselves in a great spot to win this game, earn an upset win here over CUC, especially if they are able to cash in another run and potentially 2. How do they play?
As that bunt is fouled back, so 0-1 start here for Carson Richter. 2 walks and a strikeout so far this game for the Edgewood backstop. But, yeah, you talk about crazy things happening. Edgewood, They were part of that yesterday. They were down 8-3 in their single elimination game. In the 7th inning, they eventually came back, won it in extras off a walk-off single from Ryan Ambrosi, who we haven't seen in this game, but when his number was called upon yesterday, came up clutch and moved his team on to the double elimination round starting today. And right now, they are 6 outs away from starting 1-0 at the NACC tournament. 0-2 count here. Carroll delivers to Richter, high and away, ball 1. Again, another 2-strike bunt approach here from the Eagles. Richter still showing it. Even though one bad bunt attempt means a strikeout. Here's the 1-2 from Carroll. And Richter gets a piece of it. Throw to second in time for 1. Throw to first in time. Double play. The old 6-4-3 gets 2 outs on the board, and that is a massive, massive play from CUC's defense.
Oh, you could not have asked for a better result in that situation. And that was a slow roller. Great turn there from Zagerman. And a great relay from Boswell there to get it over to first. And now you get yourself in a situation to get out of this with just 1 run on the board.
Well, they're going to get out of it with at least 2 runs on the board. A hit up the middle from Colby Davis will extend this Edgewood lead. It is now 4-0 here in the top of the 8th.
There's the broadcaster's jinx there. I see you see faithful are not going to like me.
That was almost immediate, too.
Punched it right back up the gut. Right when you thought you had the inning where you wanted it. And the 9-hitter Davis just punches one up the middle.
Second hit of the day for Davis, second RBI of the day for Colby Davis. Guess that is the benefit of the somewhat odd choice of playing the DH in the 9-hole. But Coach Al Breezak looking like a genius with that move right now, as his 9-hole hitter has driven in half of his team's runs. 2-0 count now on the leadoff hitter Tolliver, who started the day 0 for 3, then drew a walk in the 7th, his first time on the base pass. He was caught stealing in a strike him out, throw him out between Teachin and Mahler. As Mahler backpeg here, no good. Diving in safely is Davis. 2-1 count now. Hayden Hellebrand stands on deck. Tolliver's got to reach safely, however, to get to him. Here's the pitch. And Tolliver gets a piece of it. Hickman comes in, can't make the grab. Bounces away from him, and runners are going to stop at second and third. Good 2-out hit there from Tolliver. Tough play for Eli Hickman. Not able to reel that one in. It hit his glove. He was close, but close not enough, as that puts runners in scoring position. 2 outs for Hayden Hellenbrand, who 0 for 4 so far today.
Yeah, Hickman made a catch like that earlier in this ball game. Just comes up a little bit short on that attempt here. Good piece of hitting from Tolliver. Found the barrel finally after a real rough day at the dish leading up to these final 2 plate appearances.
Ball upstairs. 1-0 count. Yeah, it was a tough play for Hickman. He had to come across his body with his glove hand, not able to reel it in. So 2 runners in scoring position now. Carroll, the throw. Swung through for strike 1. All runs unearned this inning. Bruzak scored on the throwing error, or thanks to the scoring error. A throwing error, pardon me, from Crater. That would have been 3 outs, so the other run unearned, and CUC, after a pop out to Zagerman, gets out of the inning, but not before Edgewood tacks on another pair of runs, as their ace Shoemaker now is a 4-run cushion as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Edgewood on top 4-0. We'll have more for you when we're back here in just a second. Time running out here for CUC. They are down to their final 6 outs. And they trail 4-0. Aiden Shoemaker still on the mound. He's at 90 pitches. And you got to believe at this rate, Al Brezak, head coach of the Eagles, is just going to let his man go because so far it has been nothing but good results for Aiden Shoemaker.
And he's been absolutely cooking here. Biggest game of the year, aside from probably yesterday's single elimination game. Man, they handed this kid the ball, and he has made quick work of CUC here in this ball game. This is just pitch number 91.
As Hickman pops this one up to the left fielder, and making the snag is Lee for out number 1. Six straight batters retire now for Shoemaker. And 12 of the last 13 Cougars have been retired. So Shoemaker shows no signs of decline as he is getting closer and closer to that century mark in the pitch count. Issues a ball to the leadoff hitter of the day for CUC, Tyler Dorsch, who takes ball 2. Dorsch 0 for 2, fly out, a walk, and a ground out. Got all the way over to third. It's about the closest CUC's been to scoring all day as he now has a 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. There's the gimme. 3-1 now. Dorsch followed up by Kasich. And after that, we'll have to see as Dorsch skyrockets this one. Tolliver, he has to come a long way in. Hat flies off, but flies off for a good reason. Tolliver makes the grab for out number 2. As it is now 2 outs up on the board, up to Michael Kasich, who is 0 for 3, a pair of ground outs to short and third, and then a line out to the right fielder, Brezak, who came in and made a really spectacular catch. That was back in the 6th. As Kasich will line this one into right center. That'll touch down for a base knock. CUC not done yet this inning. A 2-out hit there for Michael Kasich.
It's the same approach he had in his last at-bat. If you remember in the 6th inning, hit that laser to right center, but he got robbed by Brezak out there in right field. So he finally able to find some grass out there, maybe some turf, but he's on here with 2 outs, and there's life for CUC.
As Jake Mahler lays off that one for ball 1. Mahler probably had the most success against Shoemaker today. A hit by pitch, a strikeout, and a single, but he pops this one up. And just as I say that, this looks like out number 3. It will be. Lee comes in and makes the grab. Edgewood fired up for their pitcher, who is now gone 8 scoreless. We'll have to see if he can complete the game in the bottom of the 9th. But first, we head to the top of the 9th. Edgewood, see if they can expand on their lead one more time. CUC running out of outs here. We'll see what happens when we come back in just a second for 9th inning action. It's go time here for CUC and Glendale. They trail Edgewood 4-0. They got to get through this lineup, at least this offensive part of the lineup, one more time before they have a chance to even things up in the bottom of the ninth. They got to face Jacob Carney, Kyle Prindle, and Brevin Brezak. And to do so, they turn to another arm out of the bullpen. Elliot Higgins checking in for Jack Carroll. Carroll went an inning, allowed 3 hits and 2 runs. Neither were earned, however. No walks, no Ks for Jack Carroll.
Yeah, Higgins, a 6'2" righty, a junior from Park Ridge, Illinois. He's been excellent out of the pen here for CUC, a 2.39 earned run average across 26 1/3. Large sample size, also struck out 29 compared to just 8 walks. He's been Mr. Reliable this year here for the Cougars. Just looking for 3 outs here and then hoping for lightning in a bottle in the bottom of the ninth.
That ball away, 3-1 now in Kearney. Yeah, CUC's turned to some of their best relievers in this game between Bryce Jones and now Elliot Higgins. They know at this rate, they got to put everything they can into just winning this game. If they do, they'll figure out their matchup later in terms of who will pitch. But right now, they just got to keep Edgewood where they're at. Again, winner of this game will face number 2 Aurora at roughly 4 p.m. as Higgins strikes a man out here. Carney thought it was a ball for a second. Home plate umpire Patrick Weber pumps the fist. Big strikeout to start Elliot Higgins' outing. But again, winner of this will face number 2 Aurora at roughly 4 p.m. Meanwhile, the loser, they'll be back in action at 10 a.m. tomorrow in the first of this tournament's double elimination games. Yesterday, both games played were elimination, and then the double elimination rounds in terms of games where players and teams actually head back home. That'll all start tomorrow, Friday, May 8th, as here's a laser down the right field line, foul. 1-1 now, the count on Kyle Prindle, who 1 for 4, a double in the second, a leadoff double, came around to score. Since then, 2 groundouts and a flyout. The 1-1 slowly finds its way home. His changeup there makes it 1-2 now. Two away, maybe trying to get a chase there. Unsuccessfully evens up the count at 2 apiece.
Yeah, just need quick work here out of your righty. In and out. Can't afford any more runs.
As Scott ball is going to be chopped down the right field line. Stays fair, and coming in to make the play unassisted is Kasich. Second time that Prindle has grounded out to Michael Kasich unassisted. As 2 quick outs for Elliot Higgins. That'll leave it up to Brevin Brezak, who is having a nice game here. A walk in the second, came around to score. Recorded an out in his next 2 at-bats, but then singled and came around to score last inning on the throwing error from Tyler Crater. That made it a 3-0 ball game as that ball almost gets away from Mahler. Not that it would do any damage. No one on the base paths.
That was a nice play over there by Kasich. I think that's a tougher play than it looks. Takes a weird hop kind of to his throwing side, and the lefty's got to snag it down the line. It's hugging that line. It's a 50-50 ball right off the bat, but it stays fair. It's a nice play, and I want to give the credit to him because it's tougher than it looks.
That ball in there for a strike, yeah. CUC's defense has looked pretty sharp so far today. They were 8th coming into the tournament in terms of fielding percentage, a .951 mark. As this ball popped up, it's not even going to leave the infield grass. Coming in is Zagerman for the out. So a 1-2-3 inning from Elliot Higgins and the CUC defense, and it all comes down to this. The bottom of the ninth, Aiden Shoemaker heading back out there, see if he can seal the deal and send his team into the number 2 game today, game number 3 against Aurora. CUC 3 outs to score 4 runs. We'll see what happens when we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. It all comes down to this for CUC. They got 3 outs to score 4 runs against Aiden Shoemaker, who is at 101 pitches, as his first offering swung through by Crater for strike 1. Shoemaker just a couple good pitches away from shutting the door on a very potent CUC offense, who has been quiet all morning and now 9 minutes into the afternoon.
Yeah, Shoemaker's been incredible. I mean, he's just over 100 pitches right now. He's still getting the swing and miss.
Yeah, an interesting, strategy here from Crater. Looks like he's swinging for the fences. 1 run is not going to do much here, as that ball is fouled off to stay alive.
That's a good point there. He took 2 monster swings on those first 2 strikes. Whiffed on both of them. You got to cut the swing down. The key right now is base runners.
Right. Yeah, you could power one past that hill over the center field wall, but even if you do that, you're still down by 3 runs. So CUC just needs some guys on the base pass as Crater fouls another one out of play.
He's cut the swing down. He is better swings here with 2 strikes, and given the scenario, that's an obvious. But battling. Make Shoemaker work harder than he ever has all game.
2-2 is low, 3-2 now, so good job here by Crater. Fill up the count in the leadoff spot of the inning. Crater, a homegrown product for CUC, a Concordia team that loves to pull in transfers. Crater's been here all 4 years, trying to make some noise his senior season as he fouls off another pitch. I should say he has made some noise this senior season. Very good statistics out of Tyler Crater, but trying to make it happen in the postseason. Here's the 3-2 from Shoemaker. Crater pulls it down the left field line past a diving Hellenbrand. Crater is going to get on his high horse and head to second base. And now he's going to try for a triple. That ball took a couple bad bounces and a leadoff triple for Tyler Crater. Just what the doctor ordered for CUC. A full count at bat turns into a leadoff triple for the senior out of Arizona, and CUC, for what feels like the first time in a long time, has something cooking here in the bottom of the 9th.
Man, you said a couple bad bounces. That took a wicked hop off that sidewall. I believe there's a portable mound up along the warning track on the left sidewall, so it ricochets off that, then hits off the fence, and just darts away from Lee. Triple, here we go, buckle up.
And here's a ball past the right side, and that'll bring home CUC's first run of the day. Brandon Mahler delivers with an RBI single. And CUC now looks like the bats might be coming alive as Shoemaker watches the shutout go away. There is some commotion in the Edgewood bullpen. Again, the good news for Shoemaker, yes, you let up the first run of the day, you still have a 3-run cushion. That's where those insurance runs in the top of the 8th really come into effect now.
That's a great point.
Coach Al Brezak is probably lengthening the leash a little bit for his ace here.
Yeah, they finally have someone warming up in their bullpen right now. It's going to be close. Here we go.
Deshaun Boswell try to keep the rally going here as he looks at a nice pitch for strike 1. Boswell 0 for 3, a pair of Ks, and then he flew out into foul territory in the 7th. That was to Carney, right in front of his own dugout. As here's the 1-1 upstairs, 2-1 now.
Yeah, you're finally starting to see those signs of fatigue. He's in the 9th inning. That breaking ball isn't as wicked as it was through the first 8 innings.
High and inside, 3-1 now.
You got the tying run in the on-deck circle right now.
That was pitch 115 from Shoemaker. 3-1. And 116 is a ball, and Boswell will head to first as CUC brings the tying run to the plate. It is Cam Buckley, the left fielder, and in fact, I believe we're going to have a pinch hitter here. We will. So it will not be Cam Buckley. It'll be number 72, Connor Drakaitis, the sophomore out of New Lenox, Illinois. 438 hitter, Small sample size, just 16 at-bats. Has a pair of ribbies on the year, as now we're going to have a mound visit here. The whole infield, as well as a member of the coaching staff coming out to check on Shoemaker, who, after absolutely cruising through 8 innings, so far this inning, a triple, a single, and a walk, as well as the first run given up of the day.
Yeah, this is the first time Shoemaker has suffered any duress this entire game, and it's coming here in the 9th inning. CUC, it felt like they just were never comfortable against this righty. But hey, 4th time through, game's on the line. Some of the big hitters coming up to set the momentum, like Crater and Mahler. Boswell draws a very mature walk. I got the tying run at the dish.
Dracaitis, first appearance of him today, and he fouls that one off. Heads up for the Marion players wandering around out there to the right side of the ballpark. Again, they'll be in action next against Benedictine. We'll have that game either at 1 p.m. or 30 minutes after this game concludes, as there's another hit through the right side. They're going to send the man around third. The throw home is going to be in time out. We'll see if we get anything in terms of blocking the play. Is trying to keep an eye on the Cougars coaching staff. He was very solidly on top of the plate, as now here comes one of CUC's assistant coaches, Connor Nelson, to have a chat with Patrick Weber. It might be a lineup change as well, as we have another pinch hitter coming up.
I mean, that's an excellent throw from Bresack out in right.
And a pinch runner as well. But, yeah, that was a great defensive play.
Bresack picks that up in shallow right. That is real tough to send the runner to the plate there, when you could just have the bases loaded and the tying runs on the base path.
So that CUC's now working with 1 out, 1 good pitch away. They do put a pinch runner on first. That is Brendan Holloway, the senior out of Vernon Hills. He's listed as a pitcher, but must be a pitcher with some wheels. As at the plate is another pinch hitter, this one, Dom Owens, the junior out of Frankfort, Illinois. The 0-1 to Owens, he fouls it off. It's going to be 0-2 now. That was Mahler being thrown out at home. Sean Boswell stands at second now. Holloway at first, as Owens lines that one to the second baseman to throw to second in time. They pick off Boswell for the double play. A couple defensive highlights end the game for Edgewood, as Aiden Shoemaker throws over 120 pitches and gets the complete game win. What an outing from Aiden Shoemaker. And that'll put Edgewood in Game 3 of today against Aurora. CUC, they'll have to head back to the hotel and wait for their elimination game tomorrow. But what a game from Shoemaker.
He was incredible. He was on cruise control through 8 innings. The 9th inning was a bumpy road home, but his defense backed him up. And when you're in postseason play, it's not just about one guy. It's about everybody, and it's about getting your defense involved. Shoemaker only struck out 4 batters across 9 innings. That's not popping your eyes out of your head at all. His defense played an excellent game. You look back to the diving catch out in right, then Bresack with the throw to the plate. All around, an excellent ball game from Edgewood. They get the upset.
Well, let's look over some of the stats as we work on getting a post-game interview up here in the booth. In terms of CUC, they score 1 run on 6 hits, 1 error. They leave 7 on the bags. RBI, the only RBI of the day, coming from Brandon Mahler. Only Cougar to have a multi-hit game was Tyler Crater. He had 2. And the loss will go to Ryan Ranella. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, 4 walks, and a strikeout. He falls to 3-3 on the year. As for the victorious Eagles, 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, 10 left on base. RBIs courtesy of Dominic Lee with 1 and Corey Davis with 2. Kobe Davis, pardon me, with 2. Multi-hit game for Davis as well, 2 for 3. And then on the mound, only one man to talk about, Aiden Shoemaker. Improves to 5-3 on the year. 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, which was earned, a pair of walks, and 4 strikeouts across 121 total pitches. But Ethan, I believe we're going to get, hopefully, Shoemaker. We'll have to see who they grab for the post-game interview. It will be Aiden Shoemaker, so we'll get a chance to talk to him in a second. But before Shoemaker gets up here, let's get your closing thoughts on the game. CUC, they will be playing tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the first of the elimination games, while Edgewood, they'll head to Game 3 today to take on number 2 Aurora at 4 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, I think what this game tells us is that we're in for an awesome weekend. This is a beautiful sport of baseball where anything can happen. And the 6th seed Edgewood, they rolled in with momentum after a walk-off yesterday. They flat out dominated here today, and they're going to move on and have a tough task against number 2 Aurora. But, hey, Aurora still hasn't played. Edgewood 2 games deep into their postseason. They've been incredible.
Right. Well, Aiden Shoemaker will be joining us in a second. Ethan and I will be back on the broadcast in roughly 40 minutes at 1 p.m. We'll have the Marion versus Benedictine game. That's number 5 versus number 4. Again, that is 1 p.m. Ethan and I will be back on the call. But don't go anywhere just yet. Aiden Shoemaker, join us for a post-game interview here in just a second. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Peter Borkowski here, joined by Aiden Shoemaker. And Aiden, I don't think I can say much other than what a game you threw out there. 121 pitches, complete game, only allowing the 1 run. And I guess let's just start with how you feeling right now after that marathon of a game.
I'm exhausted. I can't lie. Also threw 2 innings yesterday, and I'm just going through it right now, but it was a big win for the boys. So.
And like I said, 121 pitches, going the distance. How did you keep yourself locked in towards the end of that game? You know, you'll see pitchers as they hit that 100 mark, they get tired. You go well past that, and we really didn't see that many signs of the decline from you.
Yeah, I mean, over the year I've thrown, close to this many pitches, and it's not just me keeping myself. It's the dugout keeping me locked in and just everyone behind my back, so it's awesome.
And how about your defense in that final inning? You get the out at home and then the double play to end the game. Can you just speak to how much they helped you out as you got further and further in that pitch count?
Yeah, I mean, the defense was stellar. It's been like that all year. It's actually amazing to have a defense like that behind you, and that can help you get so deep into these games.
Right. And then let's wrap up here. You guys will be back in action later today at roughly about 4 p.m. You take on Aurora. Talk about the momentum you guys got to be feeling right now. You had that big walk-off win yesterday, and now you upset the number 3 seeded Cougars here today. Just how are you guys feeling as a team heading into that Aurora game later today?
I mean, we're just going to treat it as another game. I mean, we kept that momentum from Rockford yesterday and use it today, and hopefully we can just take it to the next game and the next game, and hopefully, you know, we go all the way. So
for sure,
that's the goal.
Well, and thanks for joining me up here. Congrats on a great game and the win. Edgewood, they take down the Cougars 4-1. They advance to Game 3 today against the number 2 seeded Aurora Spartans. We'll have that for you. But before that, we got the Marion Sabres taking on the Benedictine Eagles here at roughly 1 p.m. We'll be right back here on the Cougar Sports Network for that Game 2 action.